I want to spend a little bit of time, especially for first-time readers, even long-time followers, long time, yeah, since June of this year. But I want to reiterate this because it's very, very important. First, for new readers and new followers, I would like to urge that you spend some time back reading, let's say all the videos, most of the video analysis. I only started doing the video analysis this week anyways, or last week. That'll give you a lot more perspective because each video adds additional analysis for the prior analysis. And I don't always review the prior analysis in each and every new video analysis because it takes too long. The file size just gets too huge and upload time takes too long also. So please consider back reading. But for those new readers who may have just joined the blog or just recently followed, this is pretty important. So let's get down to it. At Johnster is clearly a proficient Elliott wave counter. He has sent me this chart where he showed that 5 waves had been reached. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that ABC, and that we are in a current trajectory for A towards 3,000, will bounce to maybe 4,200, and then down to C, 2,000. Absolutely valid count. And I had also indicated that based on this chart, the C is equivalent to his 3,000, the first stop for C. And the second potential stop is equivalent to his 2,000 call. So the coincidence and similarity there index is pretty good. The only difference is the label of the numbers on the counts. And again, this is the reason why there is no happiness if you end up getting into an argument with another Elliott wave technician on the accuracy of your count, because it arrives at the same conclusions most often. The only time it probably doesn't is when you do a count that breaks the rules. Insurance counts obeyed every Elliott wave rule. 2 did not exceed the bottom of 1. Bottom of 4 does not overlap with the top of 1. 3 is not the shortest amongst the 5. Basic rules like that. A, B, and C. Absolutely correct. His A is my first C wave 4 stop. His C is my second potential wave C stop. Having said that, this is a chart that I've been showing quite often. I had called wave 3. We are now in wave 4 in my count. That means I'm deliciously waiting for the bottom of this 4, if it has not yet occurred, to ride this 5th wave to sizable, massive profit. So wave 4 for Bitcoin is about to be, or it is done. Let's see. I'm not calling it yet. So this is my semi-big picture count. Now this is the big error that I had, I guess, shocked a lot of you out there. And I don't have a y-axis price graph here. That was kind of on purpose so people won't start throwing stones at the monitors because they'll be so shocked. But now that we are at or near wave 4, and we're going to be in wave 5, we need to kind of get the preface as to what this means. This is what I had put up before. I counted here. I went as low far as I could from the Genesis side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 does not overlap with the top of 1. 5. Okay, I subdivided 5. We just finished wave 3, I said, which was wave 5 of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of 3, if you will. And we're now working on 4. I have it coming down to sub 3,000, as low as that. We went to as low as 3,000. So this is not updated. Prices were here, we're now bouncing. If we go to 5, I think we could potentially, I haven't yet arrived at a probable target, but potentially hit 7,000 to 9,000 per Bitcoin. The reason is because, as I consistently said, wave 5 will be extended. And in this case, if wave 5 is extended, that'll be the impetus as to why 7,000 to 9,000 could be possible. We also know that after 5 waves, what happens? There's a sizable retracement in the form of ABC. This was a shocker. Sub 500. My goodness. How do I even arrive at that? My rule of thumb is ABC retraces to the prior wave 4 price region. It could be somewhere between 1,500 to sub 500. Wave 4 began from here to here. So 1,500 to 500. That's the region. And this is the big picture I have. But don't forget, after an ABC, what happens? There's always a reversal and resumption of the primary trend. And you might think, well, my gosh, what could cause this? I don't know. I don't know exactly precisely when and why this will occur. But Elliott wave states that a reason, news, or an event shall arrive to justify the forecast. And if there is a 5th wave, we know there will be a massive correction. In my opinion, we shouldn't underestimate the power of governments to negatively, though not permanently, influence Bitcoin and other altcoins. Look what China did. Imagine if the governments have a considered effort, especially if the central banks get together into a concerted effort to hinder Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. There is a black switch, internet off switch, being proposed, I believe, in legislation. Something is approaching for this. I don't know what. Now here is a very interesting chart. Goes from the Genesis, when it was sub-pennies, to where we are now, in a log chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 is this 5. This is a non-linear chart, non-logarithmic. This ABC is this ABC. From a logarithmic point of view, it just looks like a very simple minor correction, ABC. And it is from a logarithmic perspective. From a dollar to dollar perspective, no. It's a crash. But as we approach finish here, and I assure you I'll be selling my profits on the 505 or 5 wave, because that kind of wave for me is profit taking. And as we approach this huge, massive correction, I'll be working more with this logarithmic chart. and this ABC here brings it to sub 500 to as low as 400. Why? It is within the bottom of wave 4. But the bottom of C could be in the range of wave 4, which is 900 to $240 approximately. So it could end anywhere in that range. What will cause it? I have not the foggiest idea. But an event or news shall arrive to justify the forecast. Cynics will say, yeah, buddy, your forecast better be right. That's the only way you can justify that statement. Absolutely. Elliott wave counters some of real terrible, horrible callers. I'd say 99% wrong at times. But there are some out there who are very good. And I've learned some real good lessons from some of them. And their accuracy of projection is 90% or higher. And that means they have earned the right to be able to say a news or an event shall arrive to justify the forecast. Is this the only possible count? Heck no. I like this count. Remember how I said I noticed certain trends or attributes of Elliott waves in cryptos that I don't usually see in stocks. One was the extended fifth. This is why in this linear chart, extended fifth will bring it to $7,000 to $9,000. Maybe more. I don't know. We'll know more as we get more price data. But the other trend is an expanded flat, where we have A and the B exceeds the prior peak, and 4 will decline below A, giving somewhere in the same projection of 240 to 130, let's say. Remember how I say it doesn't matter how you count it, you'll arrive all at the same C. Doesn't matter how I count it, you'll arrive at the same C. Once this ABC is done, what happens after an ABC? After an ABC, there's always a resumption of the original trend. So let's say by end of 2018, 19 or so, maybe a little after 2019, when there's nothing but despair, when Bitcoin is thought of as nothing but the tulip equivalent, the bubble has popped, don't spend any money into it, sentiment will be low as possible, and people will shun Bitcoins. People will try to unload the Bitcoins for anything they can get. It'll be a massive exit scenario where everyone's trying to go for the same door. That is why I earlier put this up. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. And it will be at this scenario where you really want to do some laddering, have the courage to go against the trend. Even in this count of expanded flat, once the bottom is of A is reached, start building ladders. Very broad strokes from 900 to 130 to maybe even 70 buckaroos. Because after that, what you buy at that point, at around 2019, will make you rich. This is when Bitcoin will go to 27,000, maybe even more. This is when Bitcoin, this could be a life-changing scenario for some. There are no guarantees. Absolutely no guarantees, but this is what I'm looking at. This is my thought projection. This scenario ends up in the same thing. Maybe it can go to 270,000. Remember, this is a logarithmic scale, not a linear scale. So for all the newcomers, followers, please consider back reading all my videos, especially for Bitcoin. And also, as usual, if you have any analysis requests, don't hesitate to let me know, and I'll get to it and post it as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this. Last but not least, thank you to all the tip givers. Beer tips are really good. Thank you for all the upvotes. Really appreciate it. For those who have not upvoted, if I earn the right, and I will continue to work on that, but I will earn the right to see if I can earn your upvotes, follows, and resteams. Have a good weekend.